Hi guys, Elmarie from Worcester, Western Cape, South Africa. This is my podcast about fiber and fiber related stuff and sewing. The moment I'm doing a lot of sewing. So yes, welcome to anyone who's new and thank you to all returning viewers. This is the 29th of April. It's episode 60 and it's autumn. So it's kind of cold and I'm therefore drinking hot chocolate because that's what you do when it's cold. Oh, this is soy-free organic cocoa. The only unhealthy thing in here is sugar, but it's also organic sugar. So, you know, you try and fool yourself sometimes. And I'm going to be drinking this cocoa while I'm doing this episode. It's really cold at the moment. Uh, but this is Africa for you because right now, today, it's a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius and it's raining. And I know to many Europeans that will still be, oh, we're going to the beach today. No, not in Africa. If you're used to the African climate that's cold, that's when you start wearing your sweaters and stuff. And then later this week, or next week, it's 30 degrees Celsius, which means nobody wears a sweater. And everybody goes back to wearing pluckies. And then it goes down to 25. Next week somewhere it's raining again. So that's autumn in Africa. Okay, so let's start with a bit of admin. Firstly, if you like this channel, please like and subscribe. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I've got 480 followers now. That's awesome. I need 1,000, so please like, subscribe and share if you like this channel. And then you can also buy me a coffee. You'll find the link below. So the more coffees I get, the more support, the more I can actually do on the channel. That's basically just to support the channel. Also, you will find the link for Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform. It is my favorite learning platform. Otherwise, I would not have become an affiliate of them. I'm funny that way. I don't become affiliate just to make money. I don't like doing that. If I don't believe in something, I won't sell it. So I came across Skillshare through Vine, which is also a YouTube channel I'm following. And Skillshare is actually her sponsor. And that's where I came across it for the first time. And I started doing like short courses because the first 14 days on Skillshare is free. So you go on, you click on the link, you subscribe, and you're there for 14 days. 14 days is actually quite a long time compared to most other similar platforms that you can be there for free. And there are a lot of courses that you can take a look at. There's thousands of different short courses. There's like on the business side, and then on art side, craft side, you'll probably find what you're looking for. I've used a lot of the courses, quite a few of the courses, just about marketing and branding and that sort of thing. So it's really valuable to anybody with a small business, anybody who's doing a lot of their business through social media. That's really valuable. Anybody who wants to do a short course about photography, just to do, that's all included. Also, the other thing is that I always go on a tangent when I speak about Skillshare because it's a fantastic platform. For us as South Africans, most of these I'm already skipping over to Afrikaans, sorry. Most of these type of platforms are completely unaffordable to us, and also they will often say this amount per month, but then they bill you annually, and then you get you catch a bit of a fit when the amount is taken off your bank account. Skillshare has a month-to-month option that you can cancel. It's costing me at the moment with the rand dollar value, it's costing me about 128 rand per month for a truckload of different courses. So anyway, highly recommend them. Yes, I am an affiliate of these, but again, I became an affiliate because I actually do believe in this program. All right, that's that for admin. Got no other admin to talk about. I haven't got a shop update at the moment. I'm busy dyeing yarn for two classes that I'm going to be doing in May, two sock knitting classes, so I need to have at least enough for that. And then after I'm done with that, I will be doing a shop update. Just an explanation why it's taking so long. The yarn I'm dyeing up is a sock yarn, but it's also self-striping, and self-striping yarn is a thing on its own. I'm actually thinking of skipping to another option, which is quicker and easier, but I also like the effects. So I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me just remember to drink some of my cocoa in between, otherwise it's going to get cold and then it's not nice. On to knitting. I have an FO and I am wearing my FO. I'll move back and you can see what I'm wearing. Anybody who follows me on social media will have already seen this. This is my The Weekender sweater. Let me just move back, by Elmarie, and you can see if I come close, I actually got this right. Again, sorry for the noise, but I have to move the chair. So okay, so this is the Weekender sweater by Elmarie. I had this pattern for quite a long time. I was gifted the pattern. I went ahead and I bought the other one for the fingering weight. This is DK weight. I used some of my leftover DK weight that I dyed up and didn't sell. I always have like little scraps like that. I'll show you the others now. And I was very hesitant to start the pattern to begin with, because I've never done a bottom up sweater before. I've done, I think, 4 or so top down, and I really like a raglan. I for instance did the Hoey Locatelli bulky one, and that was the first satin sleeve I did, and to be honest, it's not getting anywhere. Firstly, it's not getting anywhere because of the fibre I use, which I'm gonna go and remove. I'm just gonna frog that entire sweater and do another one. But I don't know, it's the bottom up already was a bit of a challenge for me, because I've never done that before, but that's okay now. I get it. It's got like they call it split hem. It's got a split hem, and the split hem works out fine for me. That's okay. I was able to do eventually understood the construction bit here at the neckline. Some of the stuff is not exactly my normal style, put it that way. I'm not that big on a boat neck, especially like many of my t-shirts that are boat necks irritate me so much I can't even explain it. Because they end up here on top of my throat, and that's really don't like that. I don't mind something around my neck, but not sitting tight here, you know, that's uncomfortable. I have to say that I didn't have that problem so far here. The sleeve, I'm going to talk a while about this pattern if you don't mind. The sleeve, okay, so you guys can see I did not do a long sleeve. I only added like a ribbing over there. I did have enough yarn to put in a sleeve. I actually have a gray that I was thinking of fading into this and then doing the arms with that, because then I know I had enough yarn for long sleeves. And I was sort of thinking about it, and I couldn't make up my mind, to be honest. Again, because I had that thing with the satin sleeve before where it was a bit, I don't know, uncomfortable, I guess. Just to explain quickly my body type. I don't usually make a big deal out of that, but in this case I will. Even when I am really thin, which I am not at the moment. So when I'm really skinny, I wear, the skinniest I've ever been is I wore a size 10. That will be a 32 in the other sizes. And then I'm really skinny. I mean, then I'm tiny. My dad at that point told me, all I can see of you is your eyes, so please start eating. I was dangerously skinny at that time. So for me to tell you, at my skinniest, I wear a size 10. I should wear a size 12 to a 14, then I'm at the right weight. I am currently at a size 16. So, I want to go back to a size 12, but that's a whole different story. Even when I am at my skinniest, I have these arms that I got from my father's side of the family. So I've got an hourglass shape. I can get away with a lot of different shapes, for which I'm very, very grateful. However, my arms make it a bit difficult. So I wear a size 16 pants and a size 16 t-shirt. So it will be a size 16 pants, and if I wear like this type of t-shirt, I wear a large, and it's still kind of loose fitting, so it's nice. It works perfectly. If this was a button shirt that's like 100% cotton or 100% linen, it would have been an extra large or a double XL. And then it would be like a bag on my body, but it will eventually fit around my arms. So, yes. And that has been my case my entire life. So that's nothing new for me. I have found with a raglan, just with a raglan, I have more control over that. I do the top, and I do top down, or have done this, as I said, the first bottom up. And then when I get to the sleeve, I just go to a bigger needle. Going to a bigger size is not going to work, because then it's going to be like a bag on the rest of me, and it's going to fit over my arms, as I mentioned before. So I always just up a needle size. And like my aunt made a tenya for me. She knitted that. I just didn't have time for knitting, and I so desperately wanted the tenya. And I have the tenya too. Okay, great. I have that one. And that's also short sleeve. It's not long sleeve. And she made the tenya for me, and she added stitches at the bottom as she was making the sleeves. I've never added stitches. Maybe I should just go, YouTube that one, how to add stitches. But for me, that sounds like thinking stuff and having to think about how many extra stitches I'm going to add, and I just don't want to. So I just go up a needle size, and that usually works. Here you will see that the shoulder goes straight down to there. Now again, I'm not tall, I'm short and I've got short arms, so that is where I ended up, over there, which means the top part of my arm has already been covered. Trying to figure out how I am going to make a long sleeve that will actually not fit like a tube is a bit of a challenge. I will try and figure that out, because, as I said, I did buy the fingering weight version. I'm thinking of making it because, like, now in autumn, that would be excellent. I mean, fantastic, really, to have that type of sweater where, you know, actually, like, the tenya is fantastic for this type of weather, where it's the one moment it's like 15 degrees Celsius and the next moment it's like 30. So I'm thinking about that. Anyway, I used the recommended needle sizes, which was, I can't remember, a 4.5 and a 5 and a 5.5 for the sweater. As I said, I had more than sufficient amounts of yarn. The yarn I used was that DK weight that I spoke of. Composition is 50% merino, 25% baby alpaca, 25% kid mohair. And it's a fantastic DK weight. I need to get in some for winter, like now. But before I can do that, I have to do the sock ones. And then once I get paid for the classes, then I'll go to the DK weight options. I'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm done. Oh, yes, the mug I'm using. It's probably not going to flip it around. Probably not. It's Afrikaans. It says bekommer minder, giggel meer, giggle meer, nogal. In English, just says stop worrying and giggle more. We bought that on one of the farm stalls as we were on our journey. There. Okay, so this is my FO. I also have a half-finished object to show, which I'm thinking of ripping back. And this will be a sock. So the classes I mentioned, I'm going to do toe-up socks. And I haven't done toe-up socks in a while. And the base that I'm also going to talk about right now is the new sock base that I bought to dye. Mostly because my customers started asking for it. I'm not very big on having to put nylon into a sock. I don't care if it starts spilling or whatever. But many people are. So I decided to take heed of what they were asking. And I got this new base. I'll show you the rest that I dyed up now because that's not going in the shop. It's not a shop update. But I'll show you what's been dyed up like now. This one looks like this. I love the way. I absolutely love this. I love the way it's sort of making its own little dotty pattern there. Look at that. And this is the other side. The classes I mentioned, as I mentioned, is a toe up class. I haven't done toe ups in a while. So I thought, well, let's just start with this base that I'm going to use at the class. I haven't used this base before. Just let me figure out the needle sizes that will be accurate for this, or a good needle size for this particular pattern. Okay, I'll change up a couple of things. You can see there, sorry, this was on my lap now. It does make a bit of a, now if it's on your foot, you don't really notice it, to be honest. But I don't really like that. Now, most of these patterns say these are the increases for the toe. So they'll say the first, you increase the first stitch. And I'm wondering if I shouldn't increase the second stitch instead of the first stitch. So I'll take a look at what that looks like if I do that. And then this makes me unsure about the needle size because this is done with a 2.25 millimeter needle. And I did the ribbing on this side with a 2 millimeter needle. I'll show you the needles now. And the cast off, I just did like a normal the cast off your granny did. This will be the other reason that I think I'm going to just rip this one out, is the cuff is too small. I don't know why I did that, but the cuff needs to have at least another amount. These are about 10 rounds. I need another 10 rounds. So make the cuff a proper size. Anyway, and I did that with the size 2. I'll show you the needles. I did cast on, this is what the yarn looks like, dyed up. Now this is different than the other ones. The other ones are self-striping, and I'm actually thinking of doing a series of this, but just like making them into 250-gram balls, 250-gram cakes, and dyeing them and selling them like that. I'll probably do that for myself just to see if that works before I make anything to sell. Again, don't sell stuff I don't believe in, and I don't believe in it if I haven't used it. Okay, so I'm this far, and my next round is an increase round. These are the needles I'm using for the body of the sock. This is a 2mm Addy. It's just the Addy lace. These are the ones that I sell, and these are the ones I recommend if you can't afford a Chiago, which all of us completely understand. It's like there are certain crochet hooks that you would love to have, but you can't afford them. I mean, I can't afford tulip crochet hooks. They're too expensive. So, actually the best crochet hook that I know at the moment is Knit Pro. I don't really like Knit Pro needles very much. I have them and I use them, but I don't like them very much. And then Addy also has crochet hooks, so you have options that are a bit slightly more affordable. On the cheaper side, if you want to buy a crochet hook, I'll crochet hook with the blue handle. That's actually also a very nice crochet hook. So that's only one of those products that I will actually recommend. Okay, so this is my size 2 that I did the cuff with. And as I said, I will probably go and pick up these stitches and just do them again. This is a Chihago that I bought for myself, with the little red cable. So what I'm going to do before those classes, and I don't have a lot of time left, really I don't, but I want to finish this really quickly, and then I want to cast on another pair with this and see what the difference is, because I am ordering 2.25mm needles and 2.25 and 2mm needles. So I'll see how that goes, and as I said, I'll probably be ripping out this one. And then this pattern, I've got one other thing against this pattern. This pattern got me to using the actual cast off method that you use, bind off method that you use for ribbing, and I really liked it enough that I don't like that. So yes, to repeat myself, I'm probably going to rip this out, put it back on the needles, add another 10 rounds, and do that bind off method. Not because it just looks weird to me now, because I'm used to the other one, so now this looks weird. Anyway, that's the sock. I'll be working on this one tonight. Guys, I'm actually supposed to be sewing and doing stuff for the market, and as it seems to me now, I'm not doing this market again this week because I just don't have enough stock, and I don't have enough time to create enough stock to take to the market. I have what I had the last time I went to the market, which is not a good idea. Anyway, so here's my other little self-indulgent thing. Now, I think I've mentioned this before, but I have this thing about color work sweaters. I've done color work beanies, I've done color work socks, and they work out just fine. But somehow with color work sweaters, I come like to the middle of the pattern and something just goes donk in my head, and I stop. I just stop in the middle of nowhere. And the Soldotna crop was one of those that I nearly finished the yoke, and then I fitted on, and it was too tight around my neck. Everything else, now I know, yes, it grows when you block it. But somehow that whole concept of this sweater sitting so close here made me feel really uncomfortable, and I thought, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, and I just left it. And eventually I needed some of that yarn for another project, which I did, and yes, anyway, so I had left over undyed DK yarn. The rest all sold, and this just was just lying there. It isn't really enough. 5 skeins isn't enough for me to dye to sell. It's not. But 5 skeins are enough for me to dye for myself. For a sweater. A Soldotna sweater, to be exact. So I did that. And because I thought, you know what? Take this opportunity and try again. So I'm going to show you my colors that I came up with for the Soldotna crop. Putting them together. There they are. Now that one looks very black. Okay, there you can see it's brown. You see? It's just a very dark chocolatey brown. And then I've got this gold color with the brown and almost like turquoise and a darker teal. Okay, so now I'm thinking, the whole time I was thinking, okay, so what am I going to do now? So I did cast this on, and speaking of Knit Pro, I have a pair of Knit black shorts. And I took a 4mm to cast on the ribbing at the top. And I'm thinking of just upping needle sizes, because this pattern, by the way, if you don't know about it, I'll show it to you now. It's light. 1 minute it's like dark. It's raining, by the way, outside, so this is why it's like. This is a Soldotna crop by Caitlin Hunter. As I mentioned before, I go for a size large because according to the measurements, my past measurements and my hip measurements and all of that, I should have a large. According to my arm measurements, I should have an extra large. I don't even go there. According to my arm measurements, I should be at a 2XL. So, anyway, the pattern calls for a 3.75mm and a 3.25mm. Now, 3.25mm is for the neck, the ribbing, and then the rest is for the body. I always up a size when I do color work. So I'm thinking 4mm needle, that's already sizing, that's 2 sizes larger than normal. Then the pattern asks for 4.5 for the body, that's also 2 sizes bigger, and then just for the color work a 5. So that's what I've been thinking. That's just 1 size. No, it's not 1 size bigger. Anyway, I'm so worried I'm gonna make a mess of this thing that I don't even know where to begin. But I've started, and I'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll stick to a 4.5 for the color work and just stick with a 4.5 straight through. I'll probably be able to do that, as long as I don't go all stiff with the yarn. I'll be fine. I think I'm gonna do that just for my own sanity's sake. Anyway, that was a cast on, but I have to focus on the socks now first, because the socks are actually for a class that people are going to pay for. So that's that. Don't know if I showed you guys this before. Last week I spent a lot of time, just to show you what I've been spinning. These two, oh no, I didn't show you guys because I didn't have, this is, I haven't had an episode in 3 weeks, and I'll talk about that now. So I did spin these two up. They are actually colors that are right here behind me. This one spins up like that. This is actually gonna, wee, there it goes, as long as my face is not there. And this one spins up like this. This is quite a rough yarn, you'll see as well. It's been chain plied, so it's a 3-ply basically. And it's quite a tight twist. You'll see it there. Look, it's quite a tight twist to it. And yeah, I like how it came out. That's one of the reasons I had such a hectic 3 weeks. Well, some of them were that we started kitchen renovations that we finished the week before last week. The last guys came in while my husband did most of it. Liddy did most of it. It was mostly a DIY job. The only thing we had done eventually was the painting, because neither of us wanted to paint the walls and the cupboards and the what have you. And it's not completely finished yet. It's sort of finished. We still have to do the kitchen aisle, but he's really sick at the moment. And no, he does not have COVID. He picked up a tummy bug. He was going to do it last weekend, and everything, that's just life. Things happen. So yeah, he didn't. We did finish that. Also, I had a spin commission to finish. I finished that. I had a custom dye to finish, and I finished that. Then I started doing the sock yarn for the classes. So things get a bit hectic after a while. And then there's just normal life. I have also been sewing quite a lot. I want to show you what I've been sewing. Okay, so those of you who follow me on social media will know that we bought at Liddy bought at an auction a brother sewing machine that I absolutely love. And when I'm done here, other than sewing socks, I'll probably start sewing bags now. And I absolutely love that machine, and I can't find, oh, there it is. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so the first thing I sewed up with that little brother, it's such a cute little machine, and I absolutely love it. And by the way, you can actually treadle with it. It has like a treadle thingy, but I haven't got the band for that yet. So anyway, this was the first thing I sewed up with it, and look at this. Look at the way it stitches up. It's so tidy. So yes, I love that little machine. And this is the fabric I'm working with at the moment. It's Shwe, and Shwe is a South African brand. It comes from PE. It's very native to South Africa. It's 100% cotton. This particular one has like a 0 stretch to it, so it's 100% cotton. And it's got these cool prints, and it's actually, these prints are very It's almost part of the Xhosa tradition. So they have a lot of clothes being made out of this in general. But it makes fantastic bags because it's quite a tight weave. So you don't have, you know, stuff fluffing around. And it's almost the same consistency as a lightweight denim, which is why I started making the dungarees out of them. I made the dungarees myself. I had that in a previous episode. And then I started thinking, okay, maybe I can sell this because I think there are other people that want this too, and they do. So I bought this fabric. I have a ton of it. And I started making these. So this one was not made on the brother yet, but you'll see it's pink. It's very pink. Pink is not my color, my favorite color really. This pattern is by it. I bought it still when the company was still made by Jack's mom. It is now Waves and Wild, I think. I'll put the link down below. Anyway, you'll see like this one has a double bib over here. It's very difficult to show because it's very the same color. Double bib over here, and then it also has two pockets in front. So it just has two like plain pockets, outside pockets in front. It has these little loops over here, and the what do you call it, straps. Straps. So I mean, it's one of those things that you just climb into. You don't really have to worry about. You know what I like about this, as on a female point of view, I want to go to the loo, I just take it off, I go to the loo, I put it back on. Also, the reason why I started doing this is I thought, you know, other people must feel like I do. I'm in the middle of like a project, or I'm in the middle of dyeing or sewing, and then I have to run to a shop, and I don't want to have to go put on other clothes. So I can wear this. I've got like a apron I put on, and I just put it on, you know, run to the shop, come back, finish my project. This is a blue one. This is a small. So this pattern has a lot of different options. It has from, I think, extra small to 5XL. This is a small, does not fit me. Also has the bib over here. You see it like so. And the two pockets in front. You can also put two back pockets in the back, but I don't do the two pockets in the back. For me, back pockets are dangerous because I stick stuff in the back pockets that are not supposed to be there. I forget cash in my back pockets. I also put my bank card in my back pocket and I sit on it. So I don't wear back pocket. I don't like back pockets, and I don't make them. Getting back to the, if I don't like it or believe in it, you're not going to get it from me. Oh, and this is my green one. So no, that one was the medium, actually. And this is the small. This is such a comfortable fit as well. See? So it's nice loose legs. And I think depending on your body size, I mean, if I have to make it custom for somebody, I'll have to adjust the pattern. And I don't have the skill set for that. I'm just making a couple and see how they fit, and if they fit somebody, then they can buy them. Also, I did buy the kiddies pattern, but something there is a bit off, either with my understanding of the sizes or the way I cut out the patterns or something. I'm not sure, because for instance, I had a baby pattern, and it's supposed to be 3 to 6 months. It does not fit a 3 to 6 month old baby. Not in my country. It does not. That's like a 0 to 3 month old, like just born baby. So I still have to figure out those pattern sizes. I will rather not use that to sell anything until I figured it out. Okay, so that's that. Ooh, I still wanted to show you the colors I'm dyeing up for the socks. So I'm just going to try and get them all together. These are self-striping. Some of them you will see will be micro stripes, and some of them will be more bold stripes. Like this one will be more of a micro stripe. And I have to so reskein this because I had it on my Swift on a different length than the other one, the others. These two I had on a longer length, and now I'm going to have to reskein both of them. So both of these you can see are micro stripes. They're not going to give you like a thick stripe. The other ones are more like thicker stripes, will give you more a stripy thing. This one, I'm going to put these two together so that you can see the difference. Okay, so this one, bottom one is darker and actually has black in it. That one's brown. And then I have these two done. So this one has a lot of, it's a bit difficult to see all the colors, but there's actually like green in there. I love this one. What's going on with me with all the earth tones at the moment? There we go. So that is on the sock base that I talked about. That's a 75-25 base. And I'm making quite a few more of them. That will be that. Okay. Oh, last but very much not least, please remember that I'm still busy with the project, the drought relief project. I am so grateful to say that I was able to pay just under 1,000 Rand into the drought relief fund yesterday, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm sure it's not a lot of money. It's not. It covers probably one sheep's food for a week, if it's that much. But you know what? It is one sheep that has food and one farmer that's been helped. So thank you everybody who bought yarn. Firstly, thank you also for those of you who just donated directly. I really appreciate that. Please keep on with that. I'm going to make a poster for the markets to just say, listen, this is what I'm doing. And yes, I'm actually really just very grateful to you guys, to anybody who donated or bought yarn. Remember how it works. I'll explain it. That it's actually on my website, and I'll put the link down below. So just go check what exactly is going on. How it works is my normal price was 180 Rand per skein, per 100 gram. That's just my hand dyed yarn. So it was always 180 Rand. I did put up the prices, and no, it was not because of the horrendous price increase on yarn, because there is one immense price increase on yarn, but it wasn't that. I put up that price up to 195. 15 Rand of that 195 goes to, that you pay, goes to drought relief. The other 15 Rand I subtract from that 180 Rand. So in every skein, you give 15 Rand, I give 15 Rand. That's a 30 Rand per skein that we are able to give to a farmer who is struggling to feed his flock. And they're not only sheep. Many of them are Angora farmers, so it's mohair farmers. Some of them are alpaca farmers. Some of the money actually just goes to meat farmers as well. Like in some of the farmers just farm with meat sheep, like Dorpers and Meat Masters and that sort of thing. But it doesn't really matter where it goes to. It goes to a farmer who needs to feed his sheep and his flock and his workers. It's so much deeper and further than just feeding the animals. They always also have to pay their workers. They have to see to it that their workers have food, and it's not easy. So, on a more positive note, again, thank you very much for everyone who donated and who buyed yarn and who's willing to pay it forward to these guys. Okay, so that will be the end of episode 60, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate you. Remember to like and subscribe, please. And if you want to, you can buy me a coffee. Again, I think I mentioned this before, but let me say this again. I had a couple of options when it comes to this. I could do a Patreon thing, but I thought about it, and it's not really me. I don't want anybody to have to pay for something that they haven't watched. So I'd rather do the coffee thing because A, I love coffee, and B, then you pay for something that you have watched and you liked. And it's not a lot. I think it's like $1 or $2 or something like that. So please go ahead and buy me a coffee, like and subscribe. And if you want to learn something interesting, please go check out Skillshare. Do yourself a favor. It is worth it. And the first 2 months, 2 weeks, not 2 months, 2 weeks are free. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you and go check on my very much tummy bugged husband. Bye.